Hey everyone, welcome to Sales Funnel Radio. I am very excited for a special edition today.
Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
All right, everybody. Hey, I'm super excited for today. This is the first interview that I've actually done on Sales Funnel Radio, but it's actually one of the main reasons that I started this podcast. There's so many cool, silent, unspoken entrepreneurial heroes out there. I really just wanted to go expose a lot of those stories and share with you guys how possible it is to make a profitable sales funnel. So today I have actually one of my good friends, Ben Willson, on the phone here. We're recording, and Ben and I actually have quite a history together. I'd say that I first got into sales funnels online with him, doing products with him. So, anyways, I'm excited. We kind of want to go through our story a little bit and share with you guys things you guys can do in your own business. So, Ben, how's it going?
Absolutely good, man. Great to be here.
Awesome. I was thinking back to the time when you and I first met. That was we were in college. That was back. What class was that?
I think we were probably like marketing 101, like something wasting our time.
Yeah.
I remember leaning over and you were looking at Stripe. And I was like, most kids aren't looking at Stripe in class. Why is this kid looking at Stripe? And then I leaned over and I was like, hey, man, we should totally set up an API for you. We could get that going. And you're like, what do you know about Stripe? And I was like, yeah, man, I've set up Stripe. That was the start.
That was the start right there. I remember I was making an ebook.
Yeah.
And, that was my first attempt ever at making a landing page on WordPress, and I had spent like 2 days trying to get this stupid theme to do what I wanted it to do. And that was kind of funny. And that project, I think I've sold like 2 copies of that thing. It's on Amazon.
Dude, that was a good book though.
Oh man. And then how did we get kind of together after that though? What did we do? I actually can't remember. I just remember.
Yeah, I think we started. I think we started bouncing ideas off as to like what we had done in the past. He started sharing to me about. I don't think he called it funnels at the time. He really started, looking at like affiliate marketing and how to push products online without necessarily being attached. Where I think. I don't know if it was a clash or some type of like beautiful art piece, but I always got attached. I'm like, well, we have to brand it. Like we have to be attached to this and love what we're doing. And you're like, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's do it. And we're moving forward. Just like a rubber band. Sometimes it would have like this snap, but the snap wasn't a bad thing. The snap was like, okay, I'll give up that I don't have to be that attached. And you're like, okay, we can kind of brand it. And something would actually happen. And then we convinced our teachers. I was describing this to someone yesterday. We convinced our teachers that what we were doing was a lot more beneficial than
their
what
class.
They were teaching. Yes.
I remember that. That was our internet marketing class itself.
Yeah, we missed we convinced several teachers
to not go to class anymore.
And then they oh man. I can't believe we actually pulled that off.
Me either. I was thinking about it. We drew up that plan. So we got an internet marketing, and they were doing that like stupid SEO old school stuff, and we were like, we both wanted to shoot ourselves. And I noticed like you were the other kid in the class that was just like pounding their head on the wall, like, oh, this crap is so old, it doesn't work.
Dude, yes, and I remember they were trying to teach WordPress, and they're like, so how do you do such and such? And I was like, every answer, right? Both of us just raising our hands.
Yeah.
And so I was like, do we really have to sit here the entire time and build you a website? Like, can we go build ourselves a website?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, then we wrote up that plan. It's basically like a flow chart for pages.
Yes.
And he said, yeah, go for it. Just bring a deliverable. And then we started meeting every morning for like 2 or 3 hours, way more than the other kids in class were doing it. But I remember we made that first affiliate product. I think it was ClickBank. right?
ClickBank. And was our first one the weight loss supplement for women?
It was something like, oh no, it was that the social media producer thing, and we put a landing page together using some guy's weird generator, and put $50 on it. Woke up the next morning, saw that $50 had come back in. I was like, holy crap,
we didn't lose money.
We got 17 people to opt in, and we sold it. And
I was so stoked the moment we didn't lose money. That was like the first accomplishments of like, no way.
Man, that was forever ago. And how did we get with Paul Mitchell after that, though?
I think he was assigned to our class, and then I had to go over.
That's right, you closed them.
He was trying to do something with Facebook, and I noticed he had a lot more other issues than trying to do Facebook advertising through our class. And then we had an assignment that was to like get 10 people to fill out the survey, and you and I looked at each other like, we could get a lot more than 10 people, but I'm not calling anyone. Right? Let's figure out a way to get a lot more people. And I think there ended up being, was there like 1,100 people that we got to take the survey?
Yeah, and like everyone else got 100 or something.
Yeah. I think they called their 10 people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. And we started driving traffic for them, which I can't believe we did that. Oh, and then the Arhenis project.
Arhenis, you and I were up for what, like 72 hours straight building a website. And then I'll come to find out the guy didn't even mention his website that we'd built for him after being asked by him to build his website.
Gosh, that whole thing was so weird.
We were like, there's a million people watching you right now, and the only way you're going to further your career is by sending people to this website, and you've got 2 hours to do it. We sat there in Paul Mitchell watching. We're like, okay, anytime now.
Anytime now. Mention, just say the URL. Just say it. You never did.
We're like, we do not have to run any type of like funnels. If you just by chance mention this email address that you paid $1,800 for, you could just mention it once.
It'd be great. Got tons of. So, like, those of you who are listening, like, Paul Mitchell asked us to come build out they basically said, hey, we're getting on TV in 2 days. We need a website that people can go to, and we need like a lead capture system and all this stuff. And this was like just kind of mapping the same time. This is like when ClickFunnels was still in beta. Like it was a while ago. And it was way longer than that ago. Man, how long ago was that? That was like 2 or 3 years ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're coming up on, I mean, it's been 18 months since I graduated, so, and that was before my last semester. So yeah, at least 2 years.
Like 2, yeah. But so Paul Mitchell, they hired us to get, and I think we're okay. I'm gonna say names. This is a while ago now, but they wouldn't pay us, and this is what I love about Ben. Ben looked over at me. I can't remember the exact phrase. You know, I won't say the phrase he said, but you had this crazy look in your eye, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna go put 1 period in their code. And I was like, what? And I remember just watching you, and we were in the library on campus, and you went and you opened up the back end code and you put 1 period in their PHP in their code, and it white screened the entire website. And I was like, this kid's a cowboy. This is awesome.
Like, that's it. Your website's done. You're not paying us. You don't get our benefit. And then, dude, we set out to make Beauty School Index.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
And we were like,
that.
we're going to just give out free leads to every other beauty school for free and not Paul Mitchell.
We scraped like hundreds. What was it, like 1,000 email addresses for
1,000 email addresses. We ran a campaign to get beauty schools on board with us of how we were going to give them free leads. I mean, our open rate was through the roof.
Yeah, we had,
and
I think it was a 77% open rate.
Yeah, and we had a really big return. We asked people to fill out questions. I don't even remember the questions. I remember you coming back and being like, we got to get them involved, and we need their feedback, because that way they're they're contributing and they're loyal to whatever we're going to do for them. That way they value the leads that we give them. I think one of them was like, how is it, or what is this, like, what are you struggling with, and like, how can we help you?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's kind of everything we have been doing, and everything I do now, right, always stems from that question that you asked then, like, we got to provide a value, so if we listen to them, right, they're a lot more loyal when we're like, oh, okay, if that's what you want, let's give it to you.
Yeah. Man.
So it started from there, and then I moved to Colorado, and it just seemed like out of sight, out of mind, and that's where my life got dark, Stephen. No longer with you.
I got obsessed with sales funnels at that time, and I started building for different companies in the area, and yeah. So that was good times, man. That man, talk about a walk down memory lane there. That's awesome. And now I mean, it's kind of funny. I can't remember what you sent a message over to me, like, hey, would you look at this site? I was wondering if you could just tell, everyone who's listening right now, a little bit about your website and what does you do and how you came up with that, because it's pretty genius. At first it was like, I had never heard of it, and then you're like, oh, I have 2,000 subscribers. A week later, oh, now we've made a buttload of money already and not spend $1 on ads. I was like, what the heck? So I thought it'd be kind of cool. If you want, this is totally your brag moment, just tell how it happened.
Oh, you're good. So it's kind of similar. I guess backtrack a bit. Stephen and I also once, remember when we launched Swag? Some of it stemmed from that. I mean, it's this new concept of trfy stemmed from what we were doing at Swag when you and I came up with a business to enter into a business competition, and we'd really been doing it for like a week and a half. And a lot of it was just driving traffic and running people through a certain type of funnel, which is so funny because neither of us knew of ClickFunnels. At least I didn't, and I didn't ever think of it necessarily like ClickFunnels, but everything at the time was exactly what is going on at ClickFunnels. We were running people through a certain cycle, getting certain amount of information each time, and then that way there was creating this loyalty. Similar process as to what you and I were doing with Swag, is running through certain sales cycles. So the concept is only running through affiliates. Now affiliates, typically there's the affiliate program that you send out and anyone can join and sign up. Mm-hmm. Whereas what we're doing is approaching
like specific ones,
very specific people who have followers already, right? And when they send out a tweet, they've already gained a genuine, sincere following. And so we don't have to worry about traffic when they send out a tweet or a Facebook post or making a YouTube video or anything of that nature, because they already have the followers. And there's a certain amount of followers that we're trying to gather, as well as a certain age group of people who haven't done affiliate marketing. They're not seeking to only do affiliate marketing. And we're looking at it in a more of a, how do we provide value to them, because they don't recognize how much value they can provide. Millennials are a perfect target because a lot of them are seeking for more fame, and if they could get fame and money without having to go through the typical college and corporate America, and they can continue doing and being famous, right? Even if it's to several thousand people, they still consider themselves like a tastemaker. So we look at those people, try to run some ways of how can we provide value, and a lot of it is creating a brand for them or running through certain memorabilia designs that they don't have to worry about their back end. It's like an agency coming to a talent and saying, you keep doing you and send people to your new quote unquote like websites. This is what's going to drive a lot of traffic. So we just launched on June 9th.
So just a month ago.
Just a month ago. Came up with the concept, and 3 weeks later we just threw together a Shopify because we didn't have to deal with PCI compliance
Sure.
or any of the other reasons of design. Easily threw it together, found a bunch of products that we could have drop ship that looked pretty cool, that we didn't have to necessarily have any products on hand, or even lose out on any upfront costs. It was simply like, hey, it's brand new. That's going to take like 3 weeks to get to you, and we're sending it to you from our Chinese suppliers.
Right.
Which was the beauty behind it, because suddenly everyone didn't have to care about Trillify. They cared about the person, and the person who had a brand within Trillify.
So you effectively have gone and you created an e-commerce store based around clothing that is totally outsourced to China.
Completely.
That's amazing, dude.
Completely. So we've got no products on hand, and we don't have any storage costs. We're not shipping anything. We're not wasting our time.
So it's a huge dropship operation, basically.
Completely. Now, we could definitely make a lot more money per product if we were to buy up front. However, we also had, we wanted to come out with 100 products and then start narrowing down and then selecting which products are being purchased, and obviously moving forward, looking at finding a new fulfillment service that we can buy in bulk and then have someone else fulfill it. And we'll scale it as it needs to be. But we had a hypothesis of how much traffic would come, and our traffic was a lot more than we thought. We ended up doing 50,000 by the end of the month.
50,000 people.
50,000 people off of one tweet.
Wow.
And one Instagram post. That was simply it.
Wow.
And then from there, all we were doing was we needed ways to capture people's information. Filled up a MailChimp account like within a week, and that was when I called you.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually ever have to run into that issue before of. Not necessarily, we had a lot of names before. We had a lot of information. We just had it on hand. We had scraped it and stuff.
Right.
More so I've got to now start dumping names out of this because I don't want to start paying for MailChimp quite yet.
Right.
So I was just exporting names so that I could continue running on that free account.
Yeah.
We're up to 10,000 names at the moment of emails of people who've opted in.
10,000? Dude, like a few weeks ago, you were like, dude, we're already at 2,000 subscribers. You've grabbed 8 more thousand subscribers in the past, 2 weeks or whatever?
Correct, yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, that's amazing. And okay, so you're, quote unquote, attracting people through authority figures, pulling them in, and then, what's causing someone to subscribe?
We want all of our, I'm going to call them a brand ambassador. That's probably the best way to say it. We want all of our brand ambassadors to take ownership of what they're doing. So that way it's not a 26-year-old guy behind the computer who's actually running it.
Right.
I've got two other guys that are running this with me, and one's in production. The other is an actual talent agent. So it's a lot easier to contact a lot of these people because he's got the experience,
right?
Knows what to say. But we run through and have all of them take full ownership. Like, this is something that they created, and therefore when they send people over to the site and there's this taste of that person, right? This goes back to that branding. Like, it's got to be branded.
Right.
Everything comes back to how this person is perceived by their audience and not how they think they are perceived.
Interesting.
Which might be a little confusing. So we look at, what is this person actually wearing in their posts? What is it that they are into? And then find similar pictures that we can gather to create the same aura. So it's another almost social media means to finding more information about this person, or how this person that they already admire, that they can further their knowledge of someone that they look up to. So that's kind of the approach behind it.
So you go and you got now what are you asking for? I guess what are you giving for someone to subscribe? You know what I mean? Like, or what's causing them to subscribe from the 50,000 that have hit so far? I'm sure it's way more than that now. And 10,000 subscribed. Like, what's causing them to do that? Just to follow you or get email
literally,
updates?
yeah, we're 10% off, and it says something quirky that probably a millennial would be really attracted to, right? They're looking at this thinking, this person I admire who's 18 years old, what's their lingo? And so the lingo that pops up right away is, well, we've got an A/B split test. One of them is, let's be BFFs. Sign up here and we'll shoot you a 10% off discount on your purchase. The other one, a little more risque, but I like it, and which is working, is it pops up and says, let's be friends with benefits. And it's and then also has a 10% off discount, and that one is killing it.
So these people are signing up for a 10% discount. So that's not only saying, hey, follow us and we'll give you cool stuff. A 10% discount is implying that they're going to make a purchase in the future, obviously, very near future. That's amazing. So you're really knocking out more than one bird, with the same stone. That's amazing.
Yeah, and then they've all got on a drip campaign. We've got it. Shopify is really nice, and I know ClickFunnels does a lot of similar things where you can do other affiliates or similar products or similar brands, and you can keep sending people to where they want to go, right? Listen to where people want, follow their clicks, understand your analytics. We set up cross-sells and upsells where people are purchasing certain products with, and they're looking at other products.
Right.
So everything is an upsell, and that's really where we're making a lot of headway. Is it's all in the upsell, or it's moving people through a funnel. So if they have a cart, we send out an abandoned cart. If they didn't do it from there, right, we figure out what products that they had, and all of this. There's a lot of programs out there that can help you understand what your customers want, and you just have to listen and find out ways to remind them as to what they came for initially.
Absolutely. There's I can't remember if it's called the secret formula or what Russell Brunson calls it, but he said basically all you need to do is find a raving niche who is willing and able to make purchases, and then just give them that thing.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. It's not that hard, especially on mine. You create these, these virtual pieces of real estate, and they just work for you. So that's amazing. So what do you mind if I ask, like sales, things like that, like numbers?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So like what, of the people that are coming in, like what percent are opting in right now?
Percentage wise, it's low.
Okay.
Which is like the humble pie I'm eating at the moment. I know it should be a lot better. We've had dealing with Chinese manufacturers is a lot more time consuming than I initially thought, but that's occupied a lot of time. But in this regard, percentage is dramatically low. If we've had 10,000 people who've opted in, we've had 50,000 to the site.
So 20,000 or 20%?
20%, which...
That's awesome.
That should be better, Steven.
I mean, it should be, but like when you think about other industries and like people get stoked. Most people have like a 5% opt-in rate. 20%'s crushing it, dude. I mean, that really is awesome.
Well, I appreciate the lift up. I need that. But definitely, I know, I guess, when you're doing something, you're like, man, there's so much more I could be doing.
Yes.
That's, I guess, where the justification comes from. But
Gotcha.
Definitely, 20% is a good number in looking at what the opt-in rate is. But it's always that inner feeling. You definitely got to trust that movement. I could be doing more to convert.
And how many customers, purchasing customers, have you had?
We've had 175 as of yesterday.
175 customers purchased. I'm pulling out my calculator on my phone because my brain doesn't do all those numbers.
Dude, that's okay.
Oh, here we go. That's awesome. So from all the subscribers the people actually do subscribe, you have about a 2% conversion rate. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you'd look at it and say, we need this to be better, but you're not even paying for traffic, man. Like, that's amazing. That's what blows my mind about this. And you have a 10,000 person list. I mean, you go drop an email to those people, 2% go and purchase, and you make all this money on the back end also after you've acquired the customer. I mean, that's amazing. So,
well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're starting to run some more campaigns on testing single products as opposed to just sending people to the whole store itself.
Yeah.
Which we're really excited about launching. We've got something coming out this Thursday, which is more of this memorabilia take on the individual, like you would going to a concert, right? We're testing out the single product that's more branded and specifically to the person with their name on it, right? That we're excited to see if that changes anything, if the name now is suddenly on the clothing as opposed to just similar items of clothing that the person wears.
Yeah.
So we may have to do a round two, Stephen.
Yeah.
After Thursday.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So it's trillify.com, right?
Trillify with one L, TRILIFY.
Okay.
.com.
Trillify.com.
And at the moment, it's just an MVP. It's just testing out for our test run of an individual person. And then we've got a lot more affiliates in the pipeline who are watching what we're doing, and we're keeping them up to date as to how we're doing it. And that gets them excited because they can see that that their influence is going to provide them with a lot more sustainable of a future with the amount of followers, and they can continue doing what they love doing with us basically running the show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I'm looking at the site right now. I mean, this is fantastic. It looks really good, and yeah, definitely applies to or appeals to millennials and what they love and stuff. Also, what do you know? What the average cart value is for someone who purchases?
We're running an average of $40 a purchase.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And our hypothesis, or like our reasoning, or I guess, if I'm the right word, justification of why we think it's 40 is we set free shipping at $35.
Okay.
Which is pretty low, but yet again, our average purchase is $40, right? So we think a lot of people are taking advantage. So we're going to start creeping that number up and seeing if that actually changes, and test the hypothesis that is the reason why the average is up. I mean, it can really only benefit us if we can average each purchase to $45 or even $50, and start seeing if that's going to move any further purchases.
Man, that's awesome. That'd be an interesting split test, and this is super cool. So I just want to recap, just in case, because I get close to projects and I forget, the coolness of them or something like that, and you got 50,000 people by asking 2 people to drop a tweet and something else, right?
Of the same person.
Same person.
To drop a tweet people, and an Instagram post, yeah.
10,000 opt in. You get 175 purchases, average cart value $40. So you've pulled like around $7,000 for this thing, and you haven't paid a dime in advertising. I mean, this is like the classic awesome story. It's cool.
I appreciate that. We're excited. We're testing each social media to see what kind of pull. Learning Instagram, at least of what we've seen, is there's not as much traffic. We've got a speculation it's because there isn't a link, and sometimes, or link in each picture.
Right.
It's kind of in the bio, and then at the same time, we also figured out that there isn't as much text that goes below. So if you're describing the picture that you have posted, we've learned put it in the first sentence, right in the first line, if you're going to try to get someone to do something, because below that they typically won't see it in their feed. But from Twitter is driven most of our traffic, which was more surprising than we initially thought. And we're excited to, like I said, we're also dropping a Vine and a YouTube to see how that affects our traffic as well.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I don't want to take up all your time. I just want to thank you for this. This is fantastic. Guys, this is Ben Willson. After 1 month, People try forever to get profitable, and after 1 month, he's got this this awesome result and awesome site. So I guess where can people head? It's trfy.com. Go ahead and opt in, and you can see his sales process. But Ben, I want to thank you for this. This has been awesome.
Hey, absolutely, man. Glad I can come chat and reminisce about the good old times, man. Definitely miss those times for sure.
I look forward to seeing your face all over the Wall Street Journal soon.
It'll be the Millennial Journal.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much. We'll talk to you later.
Absolutely, dude. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Sales Funnel Radio. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Want to get one of today's best internet sales funnel for free? Go to salesfunnelbroker.com/free funnels to download your pre-built sales funnel today.